Hello and welcome to the Quiver channel. I am Jason, your host. So you want to know about panic and anxiety? Well, first of all, I can only speak to my experiences and those I know. I'm not the worst, I'm not the best, and those I know are also unique in their experiences. To everyone it is different. But this is just for the people that say that it's not debilitating. Let's take case one. Case one is a friend of mine. I won't say what area of research he's in and that, but he's in the top 1% of intelligence. He's right up there. He's someone who I can talk to about AI and things like that, and he can keep up with when my brain's higher functioning and going in that direction very easily. He has a morbid fear of dying from heart attack. This is an all-consuming thing, or it was for quite a few years of his life. Rationale and logic doesn't come into it, doesn't stop it. He ate too much fast food as a young person and did some other things that caused him by the age of late 20s to absolutely 100% that his heart was going to collapse. That thought and fear was so much that this logical, rational person would end up in the ER at least once a week, absolutely believing that his heart was going to stop. He would have massively high blood pressure because he was stressed out so much. He took all the tests. He had literally every single test you could be done on the heart, and every single test came back negative. But because nearly every single one of these tests is only 99%, there was always this little voice in the back of his head. This debilitated him completely. He couldn't do anything. The sad thing is that this can actually cause a heart attack because the stress and strain on your body is so much that you actually do have a heart attack, a stress-induced heart attack. Thankfully, he didn't. With years of therapy and support, he's doing much better now. The second one, my wife, Paula. This hits harder to home, nearer to home. Paula was intelligent, rational person, logical, brilliant in so many ways, a creative artist. At 21, when me and her were just boyfriend and girlfriend, she was diagnosed with incurable cancer, a cancer that cannot be cured, and the medication they gave her to keep the cancer away would slowly destroy her body. I got to over 20 years to watch her body literally falling apart, her skin falling off, her organs shutting down, and there was nothing I could do about it. But I'll tell you what made me feel the most helpless as a carer, as someone who was there with her, trying to look after her. It was a Friday night, and I still remember it because my brain's like that. It remembers the things I don't want to know. I could hear she had gone to bed early. I usually was up from 6 a.m. to midnight, making sure everything was prepared, make sure everything was done. I heard the bed move upstairs on the creaky floorboard, and so I went upstairs. At first I thought Paula was having a fit. I was ready to call 999. she was shaking so violently on the bed. Just lying there and shaking physically, her entire body vibrating and shaking. And she looked at me and says, I can't stop it. I can't stop. She had felt a pain in her leg. And because of all the stuff that she was dealing with, it had caused her to start to have an anxiety attack. What if the cancer had come back? What if this was the end? What if she had no more time? And she began to shake and shudder. Her entire body shaked and shuddered to the point that this 5'1" girl was shaking a full-size, king-size metal bed. Imagine that. And all I could do was get next to her on the bed and hold her and try to help her through it. And that was the hour I felt most useless, because I couldn't stop it and she couldn't stop it, and she was trying so hard. By the end of that night, she had physical bruises on her torso, where her torso bunches of muscles had basically torn themselves due to a panic and anxiety attack. No. And then me. I'm intelligent. I'm classed as within the 1% of the 1%. My special interest in technology and computers and quantum theory. I could talk with any professor anywhere out there when I'm in that mode. In 2022, there was a new symptom to one of my issues. A symptom that caused my throat to start to almost collapse. I didn't know what was happening. And this kicked off a very, very nasty form of panic and anxiety. Imagine feeling like you can't breathe. Imagine the only thing that's keeping your airways open is you forcing it through. People who've had asthma and that, they know some of this, how it feels. But this was different. This was something was physically wrong with my throat. Was it thyroid cancer? Had the cancer from my bowel, when I had my bowel cancer, had that spread? Had they missed it? Had some of it gone? The little cells got to my thyroid? These are all the things that were starting to go through my head. Am I going to die? There's a kind of fear, a kind of doom that encompasses you when you're having a panic attack, an anxiety attack, that is totally and completely overrides any kind of rationale, any kind of breathing mechanism, any kind of this is what you're supposed to do in these situations. For 12 hours, I fought that. I got so bad that I was 100% convinced that the next time I swallowed, that my throat would close up completely and I would die. And so for about 12 hours, I didn't swallow. I had to call 999 and have someone come out to me. Paramedics, they came out to me. I was sitting on my sofa and I was gripping onto and I couldn't literally move by this point. and they talked me down, they checked me over, they put me on all the things to make sure my throat wasn't actually collapsing. And I remember one of the paramedics joking with me and saying, well, if your throat's going to close up and you're going to choke, you're with the best people to deal with it. And I got through it. A fear of choking never went away. That's why even talking about it was very hard. Panic and anxiety can leverage massive forces in your brain. It knows all your worst fears. When a panic or an anxiety attack hits you, there's no shaking it off. There's no, oh, it'll pass in a minute. There's no pushing through the fucker and going to work. You are 100% disabled. And I don't wish those feelings on anyone. No one who has panic or anxiety would ever wish those feelings on anyone else. No, not even their worst enemy. The words do not give it justice. It takes control of your body. You have no say. You can't stop it. You just have to survive it. If you're lucky, you've got a loved ones there who will understand and help you through. If you're lucky, you'll have coping strategies you've set up over years and years to minimize it. But I wish and I pray that all these little shits that trash people who are dealing with it, with panic and anxiety, which is usually massive part of the problems with mental illness, because if you've got other types of mental illness problems, you are open to these kind of fucking horrible, terrifying events. People deserve understanding and help. You don't know what they're going through. And pray to whatever you fucking believe that you never do fully 100% understand. Or that your loved ones never do. Because your life will change. It will scar you. And it will scar them. This is Jason for the Quever channel.